Welcome to America Uncanceled. I'm Mercedes Schlapp. Well, Planned Parenthood, which is funded by your tax dollars, released a cartoon. Yes, that's right, a cartoon promoting dangerous puberty blockers. Not only do these drugs cause irreversible damage, but they also don't work. A study found that after a year on puberty blockers, children were dramatically more likely to agree with the statement, "I deliberately tried to hurt or kill myself." This is just tragic. I mean, this puberty blocker garbage is being pushed nonstop by different sources, including schools. And yes, do you have to ask yourself, is the National Teachers Union head, Randy Weingarten, doing anything to protect kids from taking life-changing drugs? No. She went to Ukraine to, quote unquote, assess the situation. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. So joining me now to literally break this down and talk about ways that we parents can protect our children is Kimberly Fletcher, who cares, unlike Weingarten. Kimberly is the president and founder of Moms for America. Thanks for joining me, Kimberly. It's so great to have you on CPAC Now.
Oh, thank you for having me, and what a great topic. Timely to address these issues.
Yeah.
They've literally written them completely out of the equation. Right. I mean, they used to at least pretend to care, to loop in the parents, check with your parents, let's make it a family affair. Now they're realizing parents don't like this and we're in their way, so they're literally writing us off. And Planned Parenthood, realizing that they're losing revenue on the abortion issue, just came up with a new revenue stream on these puberty blockers for our kids.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they put about like 20 of these bottles of medication up, which are these puberty blockers. You got to ask yourself, I mean, these are dangerous drugs. These are drugs that shouldn't be given to children. And yet you're seeing Planned Parenthood take on this role as like not only trying to replace the parent, but also trying to replace the doctor by saying this is okay to do, and not even talking about the mental health ramifications, the fact that so many of these individuals who are confused with their gender are suffering, and plus the physiological issues that come when dealing with puberty blockers.
They're confused with their gender because we have confused them. There has completely taken the idea of normal biology out of the whole entire discussion. And it's kind of ironic because, in the mid-1990s, early 2000s, everything was you're born that way.
Yeah.
If you're gay, you're born that way. It wasn't a choice. Now they're choosing whether or not they're a boy or a girl. So, I mean, there's so much confusion with these kids, and everything that's given them stability or purpose or passion, we've stripped away from them. They have no foundation, and so now they're just trying to find anything to fill those empty holes.
Well, and also on top of that, I just think every time I watch these videos that come out of a parent sending their like 5 or 6-year-old to a doctor and really just so excited about giving them puberty blockers, from having a boy become a girl become a boy. I mean, these are children. I mean, I just find that to be child abuse, to basically force this upon your child when you know that the child, from an intellectual standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, is not mature enough to make these dramatic decisions that will impact their lives forever.
That is something we really need to be talking about, because it's something we used to talk about, that the frontal lobe is not fully developed in a girl until she's 20 to 23 and a boy 23 to 25. So we're telling this is crazy, but this is as young as 4, 5, and 6-year-olds who are being told you need to decide what your gender is going to be. You don't decide. It doesn't matter how you dress up or how you pretend. You are what you are. My 4-year-old thinks she's a bird. I'm not going to put her on the roof and say fly. I mean, we as parents need to be responsible, and we're supposed to set parameters. Even we ourselves look for those boundaries. When we go to a theme park or we go to the airport, we're looking for the lines and the signs. We've taken all the lines and the signs away from kids and said, hey, go figure it out for yourself. That is not a position that these kids should be put in.
With the reliance on social media too, just having this enormous amount of impact on these kids, on top of that, then you have big tech and many of these woke corporations also pushing this gender confusion agenda. But let me ask you, What is driving the left to be so obsessed in making this into a genderless world, or in really pushing this transgender agenda really so fiercely in everyone's face?
It's a very simple question that has a very long answer.
Yeah.
But I'll give it the bullet points, and that is they want to destroy God. They want to destroy freedom. They want to destroy the Republic and shred the Constitution. How do you do that? You do it by dividing people. You do it by weakening the people. You do it by creating a nation of victims, so that the whole idea is a big government, communism, socialism can just step right in and say, we're the government and you now have to listen to us. And that's literally what this is training the American people younger and younger to be able to adopt these ideologies that are completely anti-American. And that is the most insidious thing that I can think of, is to use our children to do this. But every despicable despot in history has done this. Hitler did it, Mao Zedong did it, Stalin did it, and now America, our government is doing it. There is a lot of money that's involved in this, but it's more power and ideology that's driving.
It's anti-individual, it's anti-family, it's anti-femininity and anti-masculinity, quite frankly. It's all about trying to destroy anything that is considered quote unquote normal. Let me ask you this, because you bring up big money. And so we've seen these hospitals like Boston Children's Hospital, Vanderbilt Hospital. They've been promoting these gender surgeries.
You can read your children's classic literature. They're going to see this coming a mile away, and they're going to say, no, this isn't happening. And the new generation is already saying it and saying this is poppycock. We need to start reading The Emperor's New Clothes. We need to be shouting from the rooftops, the Emperor's naked. Somebody put some clothes on.
No kidding. Hopefully the Emperor will know his gender. But Vanderbilt Hospital did pause the gender affirmation surgeries for minors. They received a lot of backlash because of this. They're reviewing the guidelines. I mean, it just shows how destructive I think these hospitals have become, and these doctors really pushing this gender confusion agenda. And we're not only seeing that there, but at the schools. I do want to talk about one topic here. Randy Weingarten, who is the president of the America Federation of Teachers, the teachers union. Interestingly enough, Kimberly, after all this COVID lockdown and putting all these children where they're stuck at home and online, and they've suffered from all these obviously math and reading declines in terms of their scores, guess where she was hanging out? Yeah, not in a local school here in the United States. No, ladies and gentlemen. She's in Ukraine, quote unquote, assessing the situation as the U.S. schools struggles. I mean, your thought of this woman, who I think has been one of the worst leaders we have seen in terms of ensuring that our children could flourish in the public schools.
My only thought is that she's over there trying to get more ideas of how to destroy our education system. I can't possibly imagine what she would be doing over there. But one of the things that I'm going to specifically mention her, because it's not just her, but she's been out there speaking about how parents are in the way quite frequently.
Right.
And that it's all about the education system. We need experts. Parents just need to stay out of the way. And this ties right into this idea of, it started with Vanderbilt when that came out, and we started addressing this. What we have found is that parents are being bullied, intimidated by the medical professionals, by CPS. We have parents who are literally having their children taken away from them because they're not doing what their children want to do. And then these children, 5-6 years down the road are going, oh my gosh, my life is over. I want to go back, and they can't.
Yeah.
They're losing bone density. They're having mental health issues. If they are having identity crises, then we should deal with why it is they're having an identity crisis, not create a greater crisis of identity. And that's exactly what Randy is doing. And all of these people who are in these places of experts, they are, I don't know what kind of expert they think they are, but all I can think of is they are experts at destroying children and tearing down our country. And I got to give them props for that because they've come up with way new ways, really big new ways.
I got to tell you, I mean, she's got to do what Fauci did and just simply retire. In fact, they should retire far, far away, like in Antarctica, so that they can stop all the damage that they have already caused here in America. I do want to ask you, you're going to be on the road now through Election Day. We have some critical races. Talk to us about the endorsements that you all have made, where you're going to be, and what you think the outcome of these elections will be come November.
Well, I think I'll start with the outcome, but because I know that a flood of moms are going to be running to the polls to vote for their values and protecting their children, and that is a big issue right now. They may have thought that that was politics and it didn't have anything to do with them before, but now they're realizing if you don't voice your values, politics is what happens, and your values aren't represented and your voice is not heard. So in the last 2 elections, we have seen moms come out in mass, and they are going to be doing it in even bigger numbers in the midterm elections, because we're helping them understand just how important those elections are. Right. So we have endorsed candidates from school board to Congress and everywhere in between. And most of the 50 states, but we didn't endorse based on political party. We based our endorsements on principle. So people will come to us and say, well, it looks like everybody you endorsed is a Republican. And I said, but we didn't endorse all Republicans. So yes. It's about the person and the principles and values they stand for. And that's one of the reasons why I just love CPAC, is because you do the same thing. You guys do endorsements on principle. Yes. So we have some moms out there we're really excited about. Of course, Governor DeSantis, we're like, yeah, we need him for 4 more years. He's been mom's best friend. Right. And then we have some incredible moms. Carrie Lake, who's running for governor in Arizona, a state we really need to have, strength, a strong woman, a strong mom. And Tudor Dixon in Michigan. I mean, what a contrast that would be from what Michigan has been suffering with in the last 4 years. To have freedom, I think we need to be at a place in our country where we're competing for freedom instead of oppression. Yes. And these elections are a great way to get us down that road. So if you are not sure who to vote for, we've done a lot of the work for you. You can come to mfaaction.com and find out who we've endorsed, and also see the grades of the members of Congress that we graded all 535 members on our report card. Well,
I want to say we're so blessed to have you as one of our most important partners with CPAC. I just think it's been such a natural fit to be able to work with you day in and day out in really, I think, changing the course of this country in a positive way, where I think we actually can save America together. And I do agree, it is those mama bears. It's the moms that are the force of nature out there that are going to help win these elections and make sure that we turn the tide. And it's not only a red wave, but a red tsunami. Kimberly Fletcher, you're the best. As I said, you're like my sister. And I'm just so honored to be able to serve on the board of Moms for America, and also, more importantly, be your friend in this incredible battle for the soul of this country. So God bless, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching America Uncanceled. Remember, you can always catch us on your podcast, wherever you listen to a podcast, America Uncanceled with Matt and Mercedes Schlapp. Stay with us, and we'll keep giving you the greatest updates as we count down to Election Day. God bless.